All right, welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Astrosmash. Um, we'll probably just be calling it Astrosmash, even though it's like Astrosmash 2023. It's one of these remakes that's named exactly the same as its original version. Like, so, you know, when that usually happens, the year of release gets attached, and this came out a few months ago at this point. Like, it just finally hit the queue here. Anyway, so Astro Smash is a combination of asteroids and space invaders and hails from the year of 1981 and was one of the headlining games of the Mattel Intelligent Television, where you are man in spaceship and you are tasked with. I'm not even sure if you're tasked. You're just blasting asteroids. It's like it's 1981. You don't need a motivation. You're a ship. You have lasers. There are rocks. Get to shooting. Rack up the points.
So Florida Man in space.
I mean, there's an actual asteroid shower going on. Like,
possibly.
So the way the scoring balance works is, at least in the original game, is you have to destroy the asteroids before they hit the ground. See, if they hit the ground, you lose points. Now, there would be there are games where if the falling object hits the ground, you lose a life. Trust me, with how intense the asteroids can get, I don't think that was ever a tenable position. And I'm talking like in early game. I mean, make no mistake, the asteroids do get faster and more numerous as things went along. But honestly, I've played the original Astro Smash. Astro Blast is the Atari 2600 version of this game. Anyway, I've played the original. Well, I say the original, but I didn't play it on original hardware. I played it on the Game Tap service. I guess similarly obscure, maybe even more so. But, I have never experienced the challenges of using an Intellivision controller. I am thankful for this because everything I've heard about the Intellivision controller strikes me as it's dodgy as shit. Maybe not so much on the build quality, just the design choices involved in creating this thing. So, getting to the present version of Astro Smash, this 2023 rendition was created for the ill-fated, let's say, Intellivision Amico, along with the Shark game we just covered.
Yes, the Intellivision Amico.
Yeah.
It definitely released an actual physical console for us to play these games on.
I'm not even sure if they're still promising that. Also worth noting that according to the bullet points here, this masterpiece, just no. masterpiece is not a word I would ever use in conjunction with this. Not saying this game is bad, but masterwork, masterpiece, no. Compiled by famous composer Tommy Tallarico. Yeah. He has won over 35 industry awards and has worked on more than 300 game titles. Citation needed. I'm like, I've seen the H-Bomber guy video. I'm like, we're going to need some documentation here. Like, that aside, Astrosmash has come out for actual platforms that do exist, in addition to the Intellivision Amico. Like, so here's the thing. The Intellivision Amico does exist in smartphone app form. Like, at least I saw it on Google Play. Apparently it's in early access or beta test or something like that. Look, I am not curious enough to investigate because this is not a game you can download, say, free with a Intellivision Amico subscription. Like, you actually have to pay real money on the Amico platform to own this on the Amico platform. And I already have it on Steam, so that wasn't happening. Anyway, so that's the background and the context here. As far as how the reimagining goes, and Astrosmash is much more of what we would consider today to be a reimagining than a remake. Because this game strays very far away from the original Astrosmash formula. I think that's probably because even by 1981 standards, the gameplay there is a bit simple. Like, so they've added a lot of stuff here. You know, like, it comes across more as if this were released in other eras, like maybe a late 90s remake or something for the Xbox Live Arcade. Now, granted, we are seeing this kind of reimagining from other publishers. Just one example, the Recharged series from Atari comes to mind. Like, yeah, definitely something along that line, because you've got things like power-ups. You know, once again, to give you an idea of how far back on the evolutionary chain Astrosmash is, having power-ups wasn't a thing yet in video games, really. Yeah. I'm like, that's actually a staple from a few years later. Like, you know, mid-'80s arcade gaming more than early '80s, and say nothing of the late '70s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, really, like 1981, we were just having the invention of the smart bomb. Not even joking.
Mm-hmm. Again, something else you can probably throw on the topic pile for, you know, when needed.
I suppose, but that sounds like it would involve quite a bit of research.
Mm-hmm.
But that's besides the point. The point is, this game actually has power-ups. It's got enemies. Like I said, it's got a lot more modern accoutrements other than the upgraded visuals and updated visuals. Like the most common power-up, I'd say, is the twin laser. But you also get a shield. You will, like, one-ups will pop up. and later on you'll get the cutting torch. That's useful against these asteroids that don't get destroyed by your regular lasers. And a bit of a nasty trick the game will play at this point is it'll drop twin lasers and the cutting torch to switch off the power-ups. Also worth noting, the power-ups are not permanent. They are timed. I like having played, I know Petty fan wasn't a big fan of this choice. I think it's fine for the gameplay that they're going for.
I mean, there are two ways to handle power-ups in this kind of game. One is to accommodate for the player getting an increasing number of power-ups as the game goes on, and the other one is to make the power-ups temporary.
Yeah. This game is also much more stage-based. So what the original did is it would introduce a score multiplier as it went on, like 2 times 2 times 3 times 4, both in the positive and negative, and things would get faster. Once again, that's about the extent of variance you're getting for not just like 1981 home consoles. If you were going to see greater variance, it's going to be in the arcade more often than not. Even though, technically speaking, this is a variance in the smashing of the genres. Point is, you get stages like we would define traditional stages to be. You go through waves and waves of rocks, and then it ends, and you blast off to the next planet. You get nothing like that in the 1981 version. And there are new enemies. Like there are UFOs that show up stage 4, stage 5, that take quite a bit of punishment.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually they're a bit on the annoying side, though maybe not as annoying as their smaller brethren, which like fly down and try to crash into you.
Yeah, and like from back in the era, this would be like a boss monster, and that concept wouldn't have really been invented yet.
Yeah, boss monsters, not really a thing in 1981.
Mm-hmm.
Or like no, like that's once again much more of a NES era concept.
Yeah.
Like and there are other not just creatures but other asteroids you got to deal with. Like they're the fireball kind of asteroids. The ones that are literally on fire. They move a bit differently. And then there's like these weird space bugs that are surrounded by fire shield. You got to destroy the fire shield and try to destroy them before they hit the ground. If they hit the ground, they explode and in a wide berth. Like there's a good chance you might get caught in the blast. Ultimately, there are 10 stages. Gotta admit, I admire that they have added a lot. Also, the ships. The different ships have different speeds and different looks to them. As far as I know, not a different amounts of firepower. Oh, yes. And they included bosses in this as well. Like I said, it's very much a classic game injected with much more modern accoutrements.
Yeah.
Like, granted, having bosses isn't that modern, but it is modern compared to the 1981 version. That's the baseline we're working with here. I'm like, once again, I appreciate that. I did not play Shark, but there does seem to have been a lot more effort put into this one. Just in terms of having more stuff and making it more modern. But also, there is an auto fire, which could be an accessibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you did not get any auto fire in 1981.
The prevalence of repetitive strain injury is a testament to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, I think I'm not sure how well trying to remember if the Intellivision had the side buttons like some of the other ones did. I think they did. But I'm not sure. Once again, what I know about the Intellivision is it had the phone bits and the disc.
The disc that can go rotten hell.
Yeah. And if I'm recalling, this game was going to control like that for the Amico. Had the Amico actually been a thing, but it's not. So you can just use a regular controller like a sane person.
Or you can use a touchscreen if you are absolutely mental.
Yeah.
The choice is yours.
I mean, a game like this, a touchscreen isn't going to be the worst. Honestly, the biggest issue is your finger in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this does have this has a multiplayer mode.
Local only, I'm guessing.
Remote play forever, I think. Or no, it does have online co-op.
Oh wow.
I just, how do I put this? It's not an insult to the game, but I presume that there wasn't going to be a large player base here.
Yeah. It's you and your drunken buddy playing this, not you and some randos online.
Oh, and it also has a cooperative mode.
Oh man.
And it's cross-platform. The thing is, I didn't get Petty's copy of Astrosmash here until a couple of days ago, so there wasn't enough time to really do the multiplayer stuff. I do apologize for that. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much that would have helped. Here's the thing. Once again, this isn't a bad game. As for in the broad strokes, it's a reimagining that has a shocking amount of effort put into it. But I think my biggest problem here is, stuff I've heard on the Atari Recharge series. In spite of the amount of extra stuff that you put into this, it's not enough. And one of the things, there's still stuff missing. There's no leaderboards, which is a big part of a game like this. Competing for scores. Granted, it's an Intellivision home game, so there wouldn't really have been a place for you to have displayed the scores. But, once again, this game isn't stuck in 1981.
Yeah, your idea of displaying scores back then was take a Polaroid of the TV.
In fact, there was an actual contest for this game involving that sort of thing.
That's why I brought it up. It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
You read the Wikipedia page. Anyway, it's also a fairly short game. It does get pretty hard at the end, but it's only 10 levels. And there's no outside of the multiplayer stuff, there's just the one mode. I will say another missed opportunity for here and Shark was not having the original Intellivision version in the game. Like, and as far as I can tell, BBG did acquire the rights to these two games. Like, they actually own Shark and Astrosmash, which is actually a thing that's causing a lot of concentration in the Intellivision community. True story. Mainly because, apparently, like, the Intellivision Productions people, up until recently, had actually gathered, most of the copyrights and trademarks that they could and had it all in one place, which is why we could get fairly robust Intellivision Lives compilations over the years and decades. Like, I don't know what happened there, but, new owners come in and they do new things.
And, like, the important thing of actually owning the original games is there was a good span for a lot of the stuff companies only owned the name.
Well, and there's an interesting split branch here because bringing up Astroblast again, which was the Atari 2600 version, that's owned by Atari now. Like, once again, I don't know the details on how this happened, but last year Atari announced that they just bought the M Network versions of a bunch of Intellivision games. So Atari owns Astroblast and BBG owns Astrosmash. Look, rights are weird.
Oh yeah.
No, we could get Steven back on here to rail on them if we really wanted to.
We don't. Hell, we just talked about this on Friday with
I
Oleg.
know. Yeah. There are a lot of people we get on here to rail about how rights are weird, and probably not even have to worry about our own commentary.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway, my point is the effort was made, but there's just not a lot of staying power here. I'm like,
as expected from a game that is mimicking a game from, that early in the history of people making games what you play on your television screen.
Right. I'm like, once again, I know this is a common critique of, like, the recharge games, but, I'm not I know what could have been done here. And that is, like I said, this is Astrosmash 2023 here is not just lacking leaderboards, but it doesn't have any achievements. Like, and if you didn't want to use, like, Steam achievements, or, like, I'm presuming that the Xbox and PlayStation versions have achievements there, but you could have put internal achievements. There's been many a game that have done that for, like, so when it releases on the Nintendo system, it has the same achievements, even though they're like medals or whatever. And I know not everyone cares about achievements, but there are people who care about, there are still people who care about achievements because, achievements and trophies keep getting added and people keep talking about this. So, and this game is missing even that. So
basically no continual play incentive.
Yeah, that's a problem. Because
especially when the base, like I said, the base experience is extremely short for very understandable reasons.
Yeah, it's not, once again, it's not bad. It's a solid rendition of Astrosmash. It's just for what you're asking for in terms of pricing, that's the real galling part here, I think. Because like Shark, BBG is asking for $15. I'm sorry, that's too much. I'm not sure how exactly this was arrived to, but this game doesn't have the content or the last ability for $15. Like $10 would have been the max. For $15, like, look, that's like your average indie Metroidvania price or what have you. And yes, I know this game back in 1981 would have gone for a lot more. We're not in 1981 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, I don't care how much it went for 40 years ago.
Yeah, in 1981, it was a reasonably state-of-the-art thing and also shipped on physical media.
Mm-hmm. So, once again, I would award this a You Tried gold star. Times New Roman font, though. You know, I would give you a dignified font here. Which is more than I was expecting, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just way too expensive.
Well, and it sounds like this one has less like getting the game to actually work jank than Shark did. So
I didn't have a problem in that regard. So,
well, if it has a begin playing button, then you're better off.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't say if this is the better game because I did not play both of them. Like, honestly, Petty would be the better since he actually played a bit of Shark and Astrosmash.
Honestly, Astrosmash was fine, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't drop 15 on it.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is like a $5 game tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like wait for a deep sale. Okay, so with that,
for it to be like free with the purchase of an Intellivision Amico, if that ever physically exists.
Let's not dwell on that. Anyway, so that'll about do it for this review and this review session. So coming up on the week ahead, on Wednesday, February 7th, we'll be welcoming back to the program our good friend John Pickett of Manga Gamer. We got a few new visual novels to talk about. Let me just bring up the list here. We got Higurashi Ho Plus. We might have covered that last time. We got Sona.
We're always covering something Higurashi because apparently that franchise never stops. Disclaimer, I think it has stopped, but still.
Is there a lore joke in there?
It might be. We got Sona Nil Refrain. And the Steam release of Wanting Wings. So we got 3 visual novels to talk about. And I think the Steam version of Sona Nil is what we're going to be displaying this time, since he assures us that's going to be safe for streaming, which is good, because we always have
probably not actually safe for work, if only because your boss would be very annoyed if he came up and found you playing visual novels on company time.
Yeah, right.
So something half-naked women.
Anyway, on Friday, January 19th, we will be re-attempting our interview with Joe Humphrey of Inkle at the once again, that will be at noon because he has to pick up his kids. I'm presuming that that's going to go off without the hitch that it did last time because we found out illegal lumberjacking was going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be talking about a Highland song there. We also do have a new episode of MSP planned. Nothing happened last week, so hopefully everything goes well this week. So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.